1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there's an old roan horse with his head hanging low, standing tied to a trailer at the rodeo, with a sagging back and sunken eyes, head to tail with a bay, fighting flies. Well, he's saddle marked, he's battle scarred, loved too little, ridden too hard, but he's done his best since the very first day. It won't be long now, he'll be on his way. He'll come running from the box with his ears pinned back. He'll push that line, boys, he can track. How he loves to run and turn the steers. Yeah, he's done me well the last 21 years. He was born in a snowstorm, his mother died. I was just 14 when I broke him to ride. We learned so much that first year. I was young and wild, I had no fear. Our first job was a yearling outfit. I learned the nylon, he learned the bit. A bunch of wild cattle from old Mexico. How fast can he run, son? How far can you throw? He'll come running from the brush with his ears pinned back. They can duck and dive, but he will track. I'll let fly and we'll lay one low. We'll find us another and off we'll go. Last Sunday morning I walked out and found my old roan horse laying on the ground. A heart attack, or the best I could tell, he never felt a thing when he fell. So I buried him deep beneath a cottonwood tree, said a prayer, set his spirit free. An old sorrel mare come a-walking by, a little roan colt clinging close to her side. To heaven, I know he'll be standing at the gate there waiting for me. Up on his back and off we'll ride, disappear into the blue across the great divide. That Del Viento flies high in the sunlight. It turns over and it falls down. He guides it in for a beautiful headshot. Oh, I never thought I'd see that in town. I went to the county fair. I had a couple of horses to show to a man who had some dough. Well, he bought my horses, then he gave me a ticket to the evening performance of the rodeo. Well, there on a bay horse, packing a spade bit, standing in the shadows of the big grandstand, sat a cowboy on a slick fork saddle with 10 coals of rye. He was a Rieta man, and the Del Viento flies high in the sunlight. The Johnny Blocker rolls in from the side. There is poetry in every throw. Rieta man, I wanna know cowboy and his way of life, the gear he builds and the skills he hones. But I wasn't raised a buckaroo, and my trappings reflect my native home. The longer I live and the further I ride, the more I throw. It seems I find there's not just one, but many ways combined, and the buckaroo skill is a better kind. 4 strands of ride and a stiff bit horse that'll cut a cow when you drop the reins and stand like a rock at the end of a tightrope. How do I get there? The mystery remains, but the Del Viento still flies high. The Johnny Blocker rolls in from the side. There is poetry in every throw. Marietta man, I wanna know what you know. Marietta man, you're an old vaquero. I was in town for the rodeo, so I went down to the saloon to have a beer talk with some friends and listen to some good tunes. I walked in and I recognized the man behind the microphone. It was an old boy I used to ride with back home. I pulled up a stool next to Will and I sat down at the bar. When the band took a break, that old boy walked up and handed me his guitar. He said, play me a song. I said, friend, what would you like to hear? Though he had a grin, I swear I saw a tear. He said, give me the rhythm of my rope slapping on my shafts as my pony lopes into beyond, and the tap and the jingle of my spurs and my tack, it's the rhythm of my favorite song. No steel guitar, no bongo drums, it's a cowboy song in a setting sun. I want to hear thunder as my ponies run out across the great wide open, and chasing some old steer. When they hide down in the brush, boys, they get wild as deer. And if you can catch 5 in one day, they'll call you a hell of a man. Well, that's a song I understand, but I didn't know what to play, so I sang Wrangler Joe. Then he took his old guitar and he walked back across the floor. And the band, they started playing them good old honky-tonk tunes, and the cowboys started howling at the moon. The next day I watched the rodeo, then I headed for higher ground. A couple of days anyways is all I stood for town. And pulling through the gate at the home place, my ponies came running up. The sun was setting as I shut off my old truck. Give me the rhythm of my rope slapping on my shaft as my pony lopes into beyond, and the tap and the jingle of my spurs and my tack, it's the rhythm of my favorite song. No steel guitar, no bongo drum, just a cowboy song in a setting sun. I wanna hear thunder as the ponies run out across the great wide open, chasing some old steer. When they hide down in the brush, boys, they get wild as deer. And if you can catch 5 in one day, they'll call you a hell of a man. Well, that's a song I understand. Give me the rhythm of my rope slapping on my shafts as my pony lopes into beyond, and the tap and the jingle of my spurs and my tack, it's the rhythm of my favorite song. No steel guitar, no bongo drum, just a cowboy song in a setting sun. I wanna hear thunder as my ponies run. Cold wind is blowing, the sky's overcast and gray. The ground's slick with gumbo mud from the rain the last few days. A fog rolls up the western slope, boys, it's coming spring. We're gonna chase the cattle on 1,000 hills, get 1 year older, living the dream. Hired out to the 11 slash, riding colts in January. Was the coldest winter in 10 years. It's March now and I'm growing weary, but I got 10 head of right nice horses ready for a cowboy string. They're gonna chase the cattle on 1,000 hills, get 1 year older, living the dream. Well, James and John Wayne, my childhood was filled to the brim with heroes, all cowboys, and how I wanted to be like them. And then I met a boy from Pincher Creek, said he was gonna be a king. He's gonna chase the cattle on 1,000 hills, get 1 year older, living the dream. God put a special place in my heart for the finer things, like good breeding and good horse flesh, and an old-time anvil's ring. When you're shoeing up your ponies at the cow camp in the spring, gonna chase the cattle on 1,000 hills, get 1 year older, living the dream. Our way of life is changing, but you can see it at a glance. But there's still horses that need to be rode and long ropes that need to dance. So if you're carrying on, boy, you better count your blessings. You get to chase the cattle on 1,000 hills, get 1 year older, living the dream. From Will James to John Wayne, my childhood was filled to the brim with heroes, all cowboys, and how I wanted to be like them. And then I met a boy from Pincher Creek, said he was gonna be a king. He's gonna chase the cattle on 1,000 hills, get 1 year older, living the dream. And at night as the wood smoke disappears into the sky, I hear that coyote moan his prairie lullaby. Somewhere in the darkness comes a voice from the past. It says, do it while you can, boy, 'cause it ain't gonna last. From Will James to John Wayne, my childhood was filled to the brim with heroes, all cowboys, and how I wanted to be like them. And then I met a boy from Pincher Creek, said he was gonna be a king. He's gonna chase the cattle on 1,000 hills, get 1 year older, living the dream. big eastern town. A life of crime waited, but the law shuts you down. We'll send you out west, son, you'll stay out of jail. We'll give you a job, a pack in the mail. Well, this place called the West is a savage land. Little chance, son, that you'll grow to a man. But if you survive, plenty stories you'll tell to your grandchildren about packing the mail. So catch up your pony and saddle him right. Throw on your mailbags and cinch him down tight. Ride swift as the wind, son, Godspeed your trail. You're a Pony Express rider, a pack in the mail. Well, they started in St. Joe, headed California way. Young men on fast horses, a danger a day. Packing information from east to west. To hear the stories, those boys were the best. Then the telegraph came, they disbanded the boys. They went their separate ways, they really had no choice. And not a lot is left of those long forgotten days, but one expression we still use today. Like when you're out riding, trying to turn an old cow. When you're racing a hailstorm back to the house. You're kicking up dust or riding like hell. Like an old express rider, a pack in the mail. Now the old days are gone, it'll never be the same. People are crowding, technology to blame. But don't you let that take the wind from your sails, 'cause every now and then you still get a pack of mail. Like when you're out riding, trying to turn an old cow. When you're racing a hailstorm back to the house. You're kicking up dust or riding like hell. Like an old express rider, a pack in the mail. So catch up your pony and saddle him right. Gather up your reins, pull your hat down tight. Ride swift as the wind, son, Godspeed your trail. Like an old express rider, you're packing the mail. Gonna make my living with my horse and my time. You keep the glory, the pleasure's all mine. I ain't a puncher, I ain't a buckaroo. I don't need a label, just a job will do. Day working cowboy ain't a dying breed. Tied to his freedom like a root on a tumbleweed. Gonna make his living with his horse and his time. You keep the glory, the pleasure's mine. You keep the glory, the pleasure's mine. I love the spring, I love the fall. Any time of year, just give a call. Show up before the sun and stay until it's gone away. And if you're in a jam, I hope you look my way. Day working cowboy ain't a dying breed. Tied to his freedom like a root on a tumbleweed. Gonna make his living with his horse and his time.
glory, the pleasure's mine. You keep the glory, the pleasure's mine. History gave him a name. God blessed his hand.